we might as well go live.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna hit it. Yeah,
Hit it.
you gotta hit it. Hit it. Press that
It's dark.
power.
We're wearing sunglasses.
What's the rest of that? What is it even from?
I don't remember.
Can't
It's
even
from
remember.
the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen
the sequel? Blues Brothers 2000.
I never have. I haven't, but I want to.
I saw it at a movie theater in this town that I live in. That was it used to be just a theater, like a stage plays theater, and then it became a movie theater for about a decade or less. And they showed Blues Brothers 2000 one of the nights, and I went, and it was bad. And then they stopped being a movie theater after that.
Oh no, they ruined it.
That might have been part of the what kept it. Yeah, what kept it on the ground was not happening no more because of Blues Brothers 2000. Welcome back, everybody, to another live episode of the 12th Level Intellects podcast.
Yeah.
We're starting off at okay this time, and hopefully we keep going at this rate instead of the real
I can hear you.
problems.
You can hear me?
That's we're off to a good start. Yeah, so
you can see me. I can see you.
Yes.
I like your shirt.
I'm James Strecker. That's Ted Kendrick, I think, as far as we know
today.
Unless we've been lying to you.
That might not be my real name.
It might not be.
You never know.
So, newsworthy things. I saw that Tom Hardy has been confirmed for Venom 2, and I'm neutral feelings about it. Did you
really?
still not see Venom?
Nope, I still haven't seen Venom.
But I described the entire movie to you. So
yep. That which now I don't have to see it. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think the whole I really like Spider-Verse, and I really liked Far From Home. We'll get into that for the main topic today. We'll talk about the new Spider-Man movie from Marvel Studios. But the whole Sony connected world that they have there, that's is it part of the MCU? No, it probably isn't. Is I don't know. I'm just not interested. I guess I'd rather Tom Holland be there as Spider-Man and just have it be part of it.
That was always everyone's the rumor. Everyone was expecting Tom Holland to make some sort of cameo or whatever. And not to get too into Far From Home, but that was also the rumor that maybe Tom Hardy was going to show up in Far From Home. But we'll talk about that later.
They're also doing that. Jared Leto who is he? He's the vampire from Spider-Man. What's his name?
Morbius.
Morbius, yeah.
Not Morpheus from the Matrix, but
yeah, that's going to come before Venom 2 in that same Sony Matrix, Spider-Man offshoot world. Morbius, you got it.
Yeah, it's there was some Twitter tweet that was about it was some hot take Venom over Justice League poster, and most people were going that's not everyone I think agrees with that.
Yeah. Not a hot take.
And there's people going what, you think DC boys are gonna go against their godly Tom Hardy? He's Bane. We love Tom Hardy. Of course, it's better than Justice League. What else? What you got? I don't have any other news, to be honest.
I heard that John Wick writer Derek Kolstad's going to be the lead showrunner on the Winter Soldier and Falcon show for Marvel.
Okay.
So the same guy who does the John Wick scripts.
Promising action. And
I hope so, because I haven't seen the John Wick movies yet, but I really want to. It's got Internet's boyfriend Keanu Reeves in it.
Yeah, it sure does. I've seen a scene from I think the second one, maybe it might be the first one, but it's him and a guy in a train station or something, and they're walking just opposite sides of a big crowd of people, and they have silencer pistols, and they keep just at each other, and supposedly silencers keep everyone from hearing guns. So everyone around them is just oblivious to the fact that a gunfight is happening. But I don't think that's how it works in the real world, So they gotta make those John Wick movies more realistic.
They do, I guess. I'll watch them soon. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Keanu Reeves is also supposedly going to be in a Marvel movie, but I can't remember what character
Really?
He's rumored to play. I think that's just kind of on the
Right now they're
circulating.
still casting for the Eternals, which they
Yeah,
they
that's
just
actually that
cast
might be what I'm thinking of.
Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. She plays
Oh,
11.
well,
Or
yeah.
Billy.
What is she?
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, does she play 11 in the Eternals?
She's gonna play an Eternal probably.
She's gonna play
Maybe
one of the
Angelina
Invisibles.
Jolie's daughter or something. I don't know. I don't know much
Uh,
about the Eternals, but that movie's already got it's got the guy who played Robb Stark in Game of Thrones. Angelina Jolie's in it. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting cast.
Yeah, and wasn't Zac Efron rumored to be Adam Warlock? I think. I've seen
Really,
some shops. Yeah, I don't know if that's a
man, I
real
don't
thing or
know.
not, but that would
I have
be.
not
I don't
heard
know.
that one. I don't know
Now
how to
you
feel
have
about
straight from the yellow bat suit itself.
it. Well,
We
I've
got
got
okay.
another casting
Yeah,
news.
go ahead. Yeah,
Lashana Lynch. She played
I don't know who that is.
she was Brie Larson's friend in Captain Marvel.
Okay,
The lady with the
her one
daughter.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be in Bond 25, currently
Oh
untitled, but the
yeah.
next James Bond movie. Yeah, she's going
And
to be
then
007.
becoming James Bond, or yeah, becoming the
But not
agent.
James Bond. It's a new
Yeah.
agent who's 007 cuz Daniel Craig has retired
Right. I mean,
in
that's
the
a long
movie.
time coming because that's something that
Well,
he.
he's in the movie. He's just
Yes.
retired in the movie.
Okay. Okay, but the actor Daniel Craig is also retiring. So
Except he's
from
not. It's
from
maybe after
the
this
role.
movie. Probably
Okay.
after
Yeah.
this movie. Bond 25 is a nice round number to retire on.
Sure.
It's
I
not
feel like
round, but you know
he's
what I mean.
been like 2 or 3 movies though where he's been like, I don't want to do this anymore, and then he just does it
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
They keep
But
bringing him back on. It's
yeah,
the money. That's why.
yeah, probably that would do it. I think. I think
Yeah.
do you have any more news? Because I have a very important piece of news that
I,
we should
I,
share.
I do have like one more piece of
Okay.
news.
Okay.
But the last half of
This
that
is
part of the
eating
news
at
is
me.
that Christoph Waltz will be back as Blofeld, who is the
Oh,
Spectre
okay.
guy from the
Yeah.
Spectre movie. So, but yeah, the other piece of news is they're doing Dark Multiverse tie-ins. Sorry, I keep getting a phone call. I'm like, I put it on Do Not
Oh.
Disturb. Why am I getting phone calls?
Because they're calling you twice in a row. This is how you bypass the do not disturb. I
know.
tell people.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Batman Nightfall is one of.
Right. Yep.
They're also doing Death of
Maddie sent
Superman.
us that this morning.
Yeah. So they're doing like these. I guess they're sort of Elseworlds vein type stories that have spawned out of the Batman Who Laughs Dark
Yeah,
Multiverse
like
that we
as soon
learned
as
about
it's
in
kind of
Metal.
versions of stories you're familiar with, but how they happened in the upside down of the DCU. Is that kind of what we're thinking this is?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it looks like it's just the Azrael Bane stuff, but it's in the spooky world. It's not in the the normal version of it. So
Right.
but I mean, just the cover alone looks cool. I didn't know this was going to be happening, so I'm glad to see it. Azrael was in Batman Arkham Knight, which I just finished playing, but he does not have a very interesting story. He's just kind of there. He's like one of the side quests or whatever. He doesn't
Nice.
do much.
He was in
But,
the Arkham City a little bit too. Is like just
okay.
out of rooftops. You would see him out the corner of your eye, then jump there, and he would talk to you.
Yeah, I mean that's most of what it is him going like, "I am ready to take over for you, Batman," and then Batman goes, "No, you're not ready," and then we keep going with the game. So,
Nice.
yeah. Well, yeah. So our big earth-shattering piece of news here is that we have been exposed online for the frauds that we really are. We've been lying to you for the last several years about and keeping things from you that really, we have no place to keep from you. There's a video that's come out that enlightens the internet about our devious ways. It's made by a guy named Max, and he's put out there top five reasons why the Watchtower Database should not be trusted. It's number 5 and number 2, I believe, are both that there's not enough Zeta on the channel. We call ourselves a DCAU channel, but we don't talk about the Zeta project like ever.
We should.
And he has a point. That's very true. We bring up the Zeta Project and Batman Beyond stuff from time to time, but it deserves its own set of videos. And I think Maddie kind of leaked that out to the public in his April Fool's video that we don't talk about the Zeta Project like we should be, and we've been keeping valuable information from you. We also number 4 was that we're all a bunch of SJWs, and he's right.
Left wing, liberal, granola crunchy hippies.
Yeah, really. I mean, like, I was just outside hugging a tree right before the podcast started. So before we get
just outside smoking some trees before the podcast started.
Oh my God, man!
Not really.
You are SJW to the max. Social.
That'll be my first move after the
League Warrior. And then I think that's the main force behind that one was that we have an entire channel that basically like promotes capitalism because we're just like, yeah, watch these Warner Brothers shows and buy the merchandise and all this stuff. And then the number 3 was, I had them written down, but they're on my phone, so I can't look at them now. Maddie remembers. Number 1 was that Ted's real name isn't Ted. That we've been lying to you about that.
That's right. I love how it cuts off for the last second.
Yeah, that was about. He said that he recorded. This was all a fabricated joke.
Is it
part of the Discord. I mean, maybe there's
the video was done by Maxwell Starr. Did we say that already? Maxwell Starr?
He's one of our patrons. He did a really good job. It's really funny. We have you can tell that we are laughing. Now there's the way, I don't know. It was all in like a turnaround of like an hour or something. I think it was because we were talking in the Discord, which you should join the Discord if you're watching or listening to this. If you haven't already, there's a link that will be in the description. It's also on our community tab or the About tab on the channel. We were talking about how there's a handful of people who are kind of like, I wouldn't call them our enemies because we don't really care as much as they care about not liking us. But there's people that definitely are anti-Watchtower Database out there, and we're talking about like, how's no one made a Watchtower Database exposed kind of video, because like
so we had to
what they say.
So someone
made it for us. Yeah. So no, that was pretty good. We shared it all over the place. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on the community tab. I posted it all over social media at DCAU Watchtower. Go check it out. It's really funny.
There's a lot of people out there these days who get really angry over like take the Little Mermaid recently. It's ridiculous. A lot of grown men upset about.
Well, I would say I've seen more memes and posts and stuff about people going, "Why is everyone so mad about this?" than I've actually seen stuff about people mad about this.
See, I get direct message of people challenge me. They're like, "Hey, this is wrong. Let me tell you why this is wrong and why this ruins my childhood."
I know you, Ted, are SJW, so let me have a chat with you.
I live in the South. I live in North Carolina, and I'm from Alabama, so I grew up. Yeah,
you are a contradictory man.
My friends are progressive, but I know some idiots.
Well, we won't go too deep into that. Keep your politics out of my podcast.
Keep your non-politics out of my podcast.
Keep your assuasion to politics. Yeah.
Keep your secrets.
Yeah, it's also a good meme that we put around. Anyway, okay, well, we should probably jump into Spider-Man Far From Home. We're going to talk spoilers galore, so if you haven't seen the movie, get out galore. Of here.
James Bond reference again.
There you go.
Spoilers galore.
If you're not, we're going to be talking about pussy galore, so if you're not 18 or older, get out.
Get out of here.
This is the newest Marvel Cinematic Universe film. Is set. They keep saying it's set directly after Endgame. I would say it's at least a few days, maybe a week or two or something after Endgame. I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point, because there's definitely like after Endgame. I feel like it would be like, and here we are leaving the or whatever. But it definitely starts like, they've been informed that there's a European vacation
Euro trip.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a national, and they're getting ready for it and all that stuff, and they've had I got to talk to MJ. I'm never gonna say MJ's actual name to just let the audience not remember how it's not Mary.
It's like Michelle
something.
James or something like that.
I hope so. Yeah. Maddie says it's been 8 months since Endgame. Wow, that's a lot longer than I thought. So okay. Yeah, then what? I guess maybe it's because I've only heard actors in interviews saying like, yeah, this picks up like right after Endgame, so they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I thought there was like reports. It was like this is 5 minutes after Endgame, but
yeah.
I mean, obviously not. Well,
I was
whatever.
thinking about that though, that it has to at least line up with a new like spear and stuff. So we get a lot more.
Is it true that the actor who was from the Grand Budapest Hotel is playing Flash Thompson? And he's like the kid who's always taking selfies and whatnot.
I mean,
that's what I've heard.
He was in Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was in Homecoming
also,
too.
But I haven't seen the movie you said, so I don't know the answer.
It's that Wes Anderson movie. You should watch it. It's really good. It's really fun.
I think it's on my extremely long list of movies to watch. So
get around to it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Betty Brant in this movie, which is kind of like obscure Spider-Man character. Maybe not obscure, but like lesser known, I guess, Spider-Man character from the comics. And she like right off the bat just addresses the entire snap. Some people are 5 years old and they were 4, and some people aren't, kind of.
Well, it's the blip. The snap is what people who were left on Earth, they saw the snap for 5 years. But the blip is what the people who disappeared experienced,
yes. And I'm so sorry.
You got to get it right.
I should.
Subtle differences.
We call ourselves the Watchtower.
12th level intellects.
Yeah. So I actually, like, on one hand, I laughed really hard at their little, like, so, someone had been filming the marching band performance at like a basketball game, and then the members start to fizzle away, and then they all pop back in during a basketball game. It was really funny, but at the same time, it's like you're kind of like downplaying the like horrifying nature. Like compare the marching band fizzling away into like Hawkeye's family disappearing. Like it's so different, but it's gonna be different in all these different places.
Married couples, like their spouse disappeared, and all of a sudden they're back.
Which,
and it's
they talk about that a little bit. They talk about that for like hardcore for like 5 minutes. And then as soon as Aunt May says something about like, yeah, I got back to my apartment and other people lived there. So okay, here's Spider-Man. And they never talk about it again.
You got to move on. We're about to enter another phase.
And it's interesting how the marching band kids like pop back in exactly where they were, but like Kevin Feige or someone, I think, about like, oh yeah, the Hulk thought about this when he snapped, so that there wasn't people like that were in airplanes just pop back into the sky and fall to their deaths, something like that. But he thought. So he had a thought process to go like, if you were in an airplane, don't be in an airplane. But then if you're in a marching band in a basketball stadium, just be there. It's fine. I wonder if anyone popped back into a spot where someone else was already standing. Ooh. And so they were just like, they both just exploded. Yeah. Or like now there's a tree there or something. Like there's a house there now. Yeah. I want to see all this stuff. I want to know what happened. Anyway,
we should do a fanfic. Just call it the blip, or a fan video.
Blip bloopers or something. Yeah.
Blip bloopers.
Blippers.
Bloopers from the blip.
That's the next Legacies issue. Okay, so the Spider-Man movie. There's a scene in the trailer of Spider-Man like stopping a robbery or something, and the cops are like, "Hey, you gonna be the next Iron Man?" No, I'm too busy doing your job.
That didn't make it in.
No, it wasn't in the movie, which happens. But it was something that I was like, I think may have helped me feel more like he needs to step into Tony Stark's shoes, kind of thing. 'Cause that was something they were playing very heavily as if that's how he felt, but I never really got that feeling that like he actually felt that way, except for the rooftop Mysterio chat. That was the only time that it felt like he was, and maybe like his happy
Yeah, his
chat on
conversation
the
with Happy.
plane. Yeah, yeah.
I think they're
But
definitely
there's
building up to it, especially when
yeah,
you
yeah,
think about the mid-credit scenes and stuff.
right.
But we can get to that later.
The
But
only
yeah,
problem that I have with him being the next Iron Man is that Spider-Man is a lot more of a like relatable, like down, every man's hero or what. I'm a high
hmm
schooler. I got high school problems, girlfriends. What's going on? And
hmm
eventually, like, I'm at the newspaper. What's going on? But if he just has access to these millions of dollars worth of tech and stuff, like, it kind of dilutes that a little bit to me anyway. But
a little bit. But yeah, I agree. I think Spider-Man, Peter Parker was always like a self-made um, engineer scientist. Like he's able to amass his own wealth, become like a tech leader in
yeah,
his own right. But like that is a natural way for his character to go, and it's somewhere that we haven't seen Spider-Man go in a movie yet.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's fine.
I'm down for it. I'm sure that's what Spider-Man 3 is going to be about. We're probably going to see him, and like not necessarily like I'm the new leader of Stark Tech or whatever
Sure.
it's called, but it's like
Yeah,
he's going to be that sort of spiritual leader in that sense for the rest of the
yeah.
heroes, I think. So we'll see
And I
him
guess
in
I can see
some
him going
Avengers
like
movies.
at some point he might be like, well, I'm like I don't want to do this anymore or whatever. Like there's
hmm
younger heroes now that can like that'll be weird.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird thing about that. Obviously, the actors who are in the age like normal humans. So when they instead of a comic book, like you can't just like, well, we're just gonna reboot the universe. We'll have Iron Man. It'll be Robert Downey Jr. again. He'll be 40 again. So there's like aspects that you're just gonna have to. Tom Holland's gonna age into a 50-year-old man throughout the course of these movies. I don't know if
right.
they'll be going that long, but
Well, I feel
and
like so he's got one more solo film and like what two more Avengers appearances or something like that.
I don't
So
know.
it's not a
Contractually, you
lot
mean? I don't know.
contractually, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think because of all the success it's had, like Sony would be willing to do more, and I hope they do. I hope we can see him kind of grow up and
Yeah.
get older and stuff. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I hope that they don't just go like, "That's enough, Marvel. We're gonna take him back now," because then no
hmm
one like they don't understand that no one will like that.
No,
So
Bobby would like that. Although I think we'd be willing to let Tom Holland Spider-Man and Venom and Morbius and all that
sure.
stuff cross over as long as it doesn't contradict anything
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
going on in the MCU.
And I was
Which
thinking
did
about
Venom
that.
already do that?
No, I don't think so. There might be little things that I missed, but there was nothing obvious. I was looking for it because I
Okay.
was thinking if they someday merge that together and retroactively say that Venom is part of the MCU, then they no longer have their like. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter too much, but they were very heavily like, it's been like
Mm-hmm.
21 movies leading up to Endgame or whatever it was. Oh, just also Venom, like that was
Right.
also in there, but we didn't really know it at the time. But yeah, and it would be kind of a weird combination because Tom Hardy and
Yeah.
Tom Holland are very different like ages, but it's probably gonna happen.
And their names are both Tom.
Tom H, yeah.
It's confusing. Can't do
Tom
that to
Ha,
audiences.
which one is? Which one are you gonna say? Um,
It's MCU adjacent. That's it.
right there we go.
That's the answer.
Okay, so Mysterio, he's a big old fishbowl man, and
Yeah.
it was good. I obviously like anyone that knows any Spider-Man stuff knows Mysterio's a bad guy, so
A
there
bad
was
guy who
no
does illusions.
yeah, there was. I think the movie knew that you knew that because they didn't really they spent some time making him be a good person
Mm-hmm.
theoretically, but there wasn't a lot of like I was complaining about this coming out of the movie that the scene where he reveals himself to the audience to be the bad guy is very like Dr. Evil E, where he's like,
Hmm.
and you when you did that exact thing back in Iron Man 1, you know this to happen, and remember how we were all the bad guys. Cheers to being the bad guys and stuff
I
like
liked
that.
that part
But that was really
actually.
funny. Yeah, the more I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
it's more like, yeah, we knew Mysterio was a bad guy, so you might as well do some cheesy like
Yeah.
thing like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
really
he's
liked
one
that
of
they used.
Spider-Man's oldest villains, and
Yeah,
so it made sense that like yeah, we already know what's up. So it was good to kind of throw us that curveball.
Yeah, it'd be the same thing as like I mean, maybe not the same thing as doing a Green Goblin. I think maybe the general public knows more about the Green Goblin than most Spider-Man villains, but
Right.
there was I liked Mysterio's just blatant motion capture suit that he just wears. That they probably was just the one that he actually wore in the movie. So the
Yeah, it
movies
probably
for so
was.
yeah. Lego Pete asked, "Are we going to talk about Young Justice in comic relief?" Yes, we will talk about Young
We
Justice.
are. He
I
also
believe
said
we're
that
bulk caught up.
the segment with the gang and the I'm too busy doing your job, that's going to be a separate short.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
that could be cool.
these people should say they should tell you that.
Lego Pete just told us that.
Okay.
So
he is
I like
they.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I was glad to see him as a villain. I'm a big fan of Donnie Darko. It's one of my
Oh, for
favorites.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and
He's like an actor
Nightcrawler
from
was a good
that.
movie.
Yeah, he was a famous actor during the like Tobey Maguire era of Spider-Man.
He was in
So it was
Day
kind
After
of
Tomorrow, the disaster
yeah. I think
movie.
he was even potentially gonna. He was like in
October
be
Sky.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, they
So
probably
that
had him.
was yeah. So that's kind of cool to see that in. And he was in what's that recent where he's like the trailer's like I'm in a car and crazy and I shoot people. I'm a hitman. I can't remember. But he's in that. Uh, he's
So he said he's
I
from
like
the
the very
multiverse. He said he was
yeah,
from
but
like
he's
Earth number
not.
900. Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely lied about that. But Kevin Feige keeps reinforcing that the multiverse is real, and
Okay.
then maybe they are Earth 616. Maybe they're
Yeah.
not.
Well, I
The
like how it's
cinematic
kind of
Earth.
a meta commentary on people on MCU fans where they're like they'll believe anything if you tell multiverse. Like so many
Yeah.
things have happened, they'll just believe whatever you say. So yeah, and I really like Mysterio's very comic accurate costume. Oh my goodness gracious!
Look who
Look at
hopped
that.
up.
Which one
This
is
is
that? That's
this is
Ares.
Ares,
Yeah,
God of War. Or actually, I think it's named
he's.
after the zodiac symbol.
That's not as cool.
Nope.
He can't tell Casnia to go to war himself.
Nope.
That's just a little kitty cat.
There's a little
So
cat.
anyway, Mysterio, very comic accurate costume. If this was the Tobey Maguire era, it would just be he probably wouldn't have the fishbowl head. Maybe he would. It would be more like triangular or something like some. I'm trying to think of like an example of a Prometheus space helmet or something where it's not a perfect circle. It's more like a squishy thingy.
Sure.
DT Films, would you agree Bruce Campbell would have been a fantastic Mysterio? Yeah, so there was a Spider-Man 4, the Raimi Spider-Man films was going to
Oh
have
wow,
Mysterio
that could have worked
as
well.
I think it was just the opening scene was supposed to be like Spider-Man bringing Mysterio into the police station. They take his helmet off and it's Bruce Campbell. And then there's I believe two theories on that. One is that every time you see Bruce Campbell in any of the other, he is Mysterio just playing a different part. So he's like the guy that announces Spider-Man in the boxing or the wrestling match in the first one, and he's the ticket. He's like the usher at the theater in the second one. I think he's a waiter the third one. But then there's the other theory is just that Bruce Campbell makes a cameo in every Sam Raimi movie, and so that this was
That's
just
true.
his cameo for the fourth Spider-Man. But I do like the idea of him. I think Bruce Campbell as a whole is not a very good actor. He's like, oh my gosh, oh
He's
my
too cute.
gosh.
Don't get
He's
distracted. Don't get
60 people
distracted.
just left because I said Bruce Campbell wasn't a good actor. Maddie's furious. But no, I mean in terms of like classical acting prowess, he's a lot more showmanship. Look at me, oh my gosh, and might not fit into the MCU version very well, but I think just
Yeah,
perfect for that kind of thing. And he's supposed to be theatrical and weird and wacky. So yeah. What else? Let's
he was in
see.
the Spider-Man 2 video game. I think Mysterio was. I remember playing that on my GameCube, and Quentin Beck being one of the villains you have to fight.
I believe you. That cat's gonna get you. Are you recording with those headphones?
Yeah,
Okay, no, I'm just hearing
because the
it
other ones don't
through
work.
this. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what else happens in the movie. We got Skrulls were actually Nick Fury the whole time, and Robin Scherbatsky, and that was a weird thing. So they were just them the whole movie, I guess, which was like I think the first post-credit scene I've seen in a long time where I went like, all right, I don't care. Like it didn't really affect me.
Really, I like the post-credit scene a lot.
I don't really care
Both of them.
why they're in space. I guess I don't know, but
it's it has a name. I forget what it's called, but it's definitely like a Watchtower type satellite that they have up there. And Secret Invasion seems to be next on the docket for the MCU.
Yeah, I actually thought at first because I think Maria Hill is the first one to transform in the car before Nick Fury, just like a couple seconds before Nick Fury, and my first thought was like, oh. It's the Skrull that escaped in Captain Marvel, and it's been Maria Hill this whole time. What a revelation! Oh no, it's just a joke. They were just both Skrulls the whole movie.
Both.
But
whatever. Maria Hill could have been a Skrull the whole time. For all I know.
Yeah, I would believe it. Yeah,
she definitely could have been.
And then there's people going back and going like, well, maybe Nick Fury has been disguised, or maybe what's his name, Talos has been disguised as Nick Fury for like years or something because. He mentions in Captain Marvel that, oh, tell me something that only Nick Fury would know. Or, I can't eat toast if it's cut into triangles. But in Age of Ultron, he cuts his sandwich in a triangle and then he eats it. So there's people like, well, it's not toast. So it doesn't count or whatever. But, yeah.
That's close.
But it could be.
I think I think we've seen Nick Fury as himself in every other movie. This one, though, I remember thinking as I'm watching it, like, so we just learned in Captain Marvel he lost his eye because of the cat scratching him.
Yeah.
And so we see the cat scratch behind his eye patch in all of the Spider-Man film. And I remember thinking, like, oh, they must have just, like, retroactively put that there now that we, the audience, know.
Yeah,
it had been there. The scratch, really.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so prominent in this one. It didn't seem as I don't know for some
reason.
There's
always been 3 like claw marks across it. Yeah, I had to go back and look at that too because I just saw. I was watching some Avengers 1 clip and it was definitely It's there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, never mind.
But,
I was gonna say like that was like an indicator for
me.
They
retconned
Well, the scroll was there in Captain Marvel, so it was like, well, that means like that maybe that was his memory of it or something, and he played up that scar a little more.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. Yeah, if he didn't know that somehow, so he just like only knows what Nick Fury has told people that he has a way more badass way of losing his eyes. Like he doesn't know that information, but I'm sure Fury probably tells him everything, so he can pretend to be him. The only thing that was weird about him being a Skrull movie and not Fury was that there's scenes where just Nick Fury and Maria Hill are like having a conversation, like when the drone is just invisibly sitting right outside the. Don't eat that, dude! Oh my god, why? Why? Don't eat the thing. Oh my god.
Sorry, the cat hit a button on my headphones.
Ted, put the cat camera hit back, a button. Ted. Well, don't let the cat eat your thing. Look how stretched and weird I am.
Oh, come on.
I'm so messed up. Everyone's so good? Freaking out. I don't know.
Or are you
no, you're not back. It's just me right now. You're no camera.
All right, hold on.
Patience, audience. Here we are.
That's it. That's what you get when you have a cat guest star.
I can't see, for some reason, I can't see Ted on my phone anymore. You're sideways.
You're sideways, Ted. I fixed it.
Okay. All right, we're all good.
It's fixed. I think we're all good. It's a minor catastrophe.
Error. Okay, so anyway. I just got your catastrophe joke, and I'm gonna not touch that one.
And I'm gonna not let this cat cause so much damage.
Maddie says he's gonna try to keep track of some of the questions for us.
Oh,
so when we
get do it again.
Yeah, when we get to everyone's trash, hopefully that'll be all fine. Yeah, can you not let the cat eat your headphones?
I didn't realize there was a button on there here that would actually like turn it all off.
I think the button was destroying the headphones. What else can we say about Spider-Man Far From Home? Was he really that far? He's
No.
European. The actor Tom Holland.
I saw on a late show, I forget who it was, but
Yeah.
he said that like Homecoming was like thousands of miles away from
Yeah.
home, but Homecoming or Far From Home was like 20 minutes from his parents'
Yeah,
house.
I was just down the street. Yeah.
That was really funny.
I think there was some. I think we talked off the air with Maddie, right? Just little tiny thoughts about the movie, about how the opening chunk, the opening act or whatever, is a little bit less than interesting. Like it's I don't know, more just kind of expository. Like, here we are in the universe again. Remember what's going on, before it kind of ramps up once you know Mysterio is a bad guy for sure. Which is fine, but yeah, there were some moments like when they're fighting the water elemental in Italy,
Right, which I
and
thought
they
was
have
Hydra Man originally.
Yeah,
From the trailer.
Yeah, I think
And it
that's
was
kind of
not.
maybe their. Well, I feel like they do mention, as it might, I didn't catch the name for sure because I don't know Spider-Man stuff as much, but I think that they do mention like, hey, on my Earth, yeah, the water elemental used to be this. He used to be named this guy before he, or no, it was like a rumor when the kids were watching the news broadcast. They're like, oh, I hear, yeah, he used to be named this, and he was turned into a waterman. No, he's for good. Like, so it was.
Okay.
I think they
So it
dropped
is
his
part
name,
of there. Yeah.
but
They know what they're doing.
in any case, there's when they're fighting the water guy, and Spider-Man, he has the like jester mask on, and he's, hey, let me help. I'm sticky or whatever. Like, that's
Right.
good. It was a little bit almost too like Three Stooges-y when he's just banging his head on the bell over and over again. But
Sure,
there was enough balance that I'm being nitpicky, but I think the movie was still good. But there were just some parts that were like,
I liked Night Monkey.
okay, yeah,
The Night Monkey. Yeah.
and it's just like Night Monkey, come up here, and he like immediately responds, what? Yeah, that was good. And I do like the whole who knows that he's Spider-Man and who doesn't kind of threads each other. There was a lot of like, I feel like I need to watch Homecoming again, but I feel like the Michelle character not quite the same as she was in the previous, pushed to be his love interest than she used to be.
Yeah.
Which wasn't terrible. Like, they were going to end up together or whatever, but I don't know.
I like her. She actually is a lesbian in real life, which is interesting, but she's an actress.
So is Tom Holland. So
yeah, well,
and we gotta
sure.
I was glad that because I was saying that scene of the bank robbery thing wasn't in the movie. I was thinking that the whole her and him like swinging through the city wasn't in the movie either, even though it was in a trailer. But it's just like the post credits thing,
right?
Like right at the end of the movie. So speaking of mid credit stuff,
there's a big reveal.
Yeah, we get J. Jonah Jameson finally, and again J.K. Simmons, which was pretty cool. Which I'm glad they did, because everybody for years has just been like, how can they possibly replace J. Jonah Jameson? Like, he's just and he was, I believe, the of J. Jonah Jameson in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah.
And so he's just always in the multiverse. He's just usually I think Ed Asner was the voice of J. Jonah Jameson in the '90s cartoon.
Really? Wow.
But every other thing mostly has been J.K. Simmons.
That confirms the multiverse. It's J.K. Simmons in every multiverse.
Yeah, and I do like that he's like kind of a Alex Jones character in this version. Like, he's a lot more like, which fits him really well, I think. Is like a Spider-Man's a menace. Like, he's turning the friggin' frogs gay on the news bulletin. But find out where they're going with that, I guess. But yeah, he supposedly, their Mysterio, he leaked a video that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and so now everyone knows.
Everyone knows, and they've known in the past, and his identity's been public in the comics before, and that's
he
just
revealed
the
it
same.
in Civil War.
Yeah, that's true. It's also like mirrors Iron Man, the first movie, where Tony Stark at the end of the film is like, I'm Iron Man. and he goes public.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
And
that
Spider-Man
step.
has no choice.
Yeah,
He just
now
is
he's gonna
forced into-
fully
yeah.
embrace that
Yeah.
Tony Stark legacy there.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, there's also I've seen a theory that you know the movie's been out for a couple of weeks, but there's already fan theories about how Mysterio either he didn't die or his like Iron Man 1 tech dude took control of his technology, and that broadcast is something that only Spider-Man saw and like everyone else didn't see it. But what's the point of that? Why would you Spider-Man's Peter Parker, I'm gonna fake my death or I'm gonna fake the fact that he said, you know, execute them all, that kind of
just like how Batgirl Barbara Gordon missed the wild cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Joker.
Yeah,
That's a
she
deep
didn't know
cut.
Harley wasn't alive yet. And where was Nightwing during that episode? By the way,
I don't know.
So yeah, I don't know what else to. Yeah, Maddie's just throwing questions in here. DT Films. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we'll get to you. We'll get to you in everyone's trash. If you want to make sure. If you want to, as far as I know, guarantee that your question is read, there is the super chat, that'll pop up. That'll definitely like ping right at us. It's a little button.
It's over there.
Looks like a sign, like a Superman symbol with a little. It's $1. It's $$ sign. Let's be honest. Did you know how the $sign came about? The shape, the logo.
No, can you tell me?
I can try. I will tell you, and then someone will correct me. So supposedly, when they would ship money, like bills and coins and whatnot, banks, the boxes would have an S and a U in the middle of the S, and then whenever they would just get jumbled around in the truck and everything gets all kind of flaked away and shaked and all that stuff, the bottom little curve of the U would get scraped off, and so it just became an S with 2 lines through it, and now that's the symbol we use for
weird.
Bing. But maybe someone will tell me, nope, that's wives. And what do you have against old wives, man?
Nothing.
Okay, good. Is there anything else we need to say about Spider-Man?
That's Far From Home. I can't think of anything. I really liked it. I liked all the balance between the kids having their like trip and the romantic problems and stuff with Nick Fury kidnapping the whole group and everything. It was a really good balance overall between all the story.
I know these actors are like early 20s, but it was a little bit awkward to like kind of hone in on like, look, supposedly like 16 or 17-year-olds like making out on a bridge. And I'm like, what do you feel about this? But it's fine. I mean,
you didn't make out on bridges when you were 16? Maybe that was just
me. I made out with bridges when I was 16.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just because on every level except physical, I am a bridge. Yeah. Jeff Bridges was in Iron Man 1. Action. So what else? I think that's probably all we have to say about the movie. It was good. Maddie would probably have a billion other things to say that we didn't mention, but because we don't get him anymore. That's not true. I immediately redact that statement. Fanfic Talk says the dollar stands for hope. Yes, that's true. Okay, well, for comic relief, we were probably just going to mostly talk about Young Justice, unless you had any actual comics you wanted to toss in first.
Oh, maybe Zendaya is not a lesbian. I might have been wrong. I thought I read that the other day when I was reading about the Euphoria show on HBO. I thought that was
Zendaya is Michi. That's all I know. So.
Well, let me redact that just in case I'm wrong.
Okay.
Sorry.
You can't. It was live. Everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Byproduct says girl who played Betty was 17 when they were filming. Okay.
Maddie,
well, she's an older looking 17 and
is yes.
Bridge makeup was the
that middle school girlfriend was like, I took her to a movie. I don't remember which one, and she was like, I want to sit in the back row because I like to climb behind the seats.
Climb around on the seats. Yeah. So she was a bridge in disguise.
A bridge too far.
I'm a bridge.
We should abridge this conversation.
Oh, yes, very much. Okay, Young Justice. Do you have any comics you want to talk about before Young Justice?
I read Batman Universe. Have you
I
heard of this
didn't,
one?
so no.
Batman Universe.
No.
It's written by Brian Michael Bendis
Tell me about it.
and art by Nick Darrington. It was one of the ones that was like Walmart exclusive for like all of last year.
Okay.
It was that story. They had like Batman Giant number 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever. They went through the whole series, and it was like this comic with like Batman Hush and a couple other like older stories that were republished there.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first time this book has been like put out on its own. So number
So
one
these
just
are
came
like
out.
the Walmart releases
Yeah.
of where they
Or
have
like
like
the
plus there's one issue that you can only get in a Walmart thing.
but
And
now
then
you
this
can
is
get it.
okay.
Now you
That's
can get
cool.
it here. Yeah, and the first one was really good. It was a bunch of Riddler imposters, and he was trying to figure out who the real Riddler was. The art's very like stylized, kind of like the animated series. Nick Darrington did the Doom Patrol book recently with Gerard Way for DC's Young Animal. And at the end of the book, Green Arrow appears, and from what I understand about the rest of the series, Batman and Green Arrow, Green Lantern was in a little bit too. They're going to go off to Gorilla City and like the Dinosaur Island from the New Frontier, and go on this like kind of world-spanning looking for something. I don't know. That's all.
Well, whatever.
That's all I'll say about it. It was
Batman
cool.
stuff. Dinosaurs.
There's a lot of good guest stars.
Batman and
Art's great.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
There's I used to the very first website that I made when I learned HTML as like a 12-year-old, so it's very terrible, and I don't think we'll find out if I have it anymore. But there's
we got those important questions.
Gaming. Yes, thank you. We'll get to that in a couple minutes here. My first website that I ever created was a just like I didn't know what to do, so I was like, how do I get people to come to this website? I need a hook, and so at the top it was a scrolling marquee,
of course,
an image that goes and then immediately pops and goes again, and it was a Brontosaurus and Batman, and then it was just like bright yellow background and text Times New Roman that said something about like, do you like dinosaurs and Batman? Well, here's the website for you, or something. And now that was like the entire website. So there's nothing. Wow, I sure love this.
Who doesn't like dinosaurs?
I'm sure glad
and
I came to this.
That's why Batman has a dinosaur in his cave.
He sure does. Yeah, I don't think I even knew that at the time. I hadn't really thought about it. But yeah.
A dinosaur and a giant penny.
Do you like dinosaurs and Batman?
I do.
So do I. What a dig. Anyway.
Yeah. DT Films asked if I'm looking forward to Justice League Black Hammer. I'm just gonna say yes real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm almost caught up on my Black Hammer. I have like maybe 6 more issues before I read it all. So
okay,
I'm gonna read that after.
Well, these are I was just real quick. I started reading the mystical Tom King book. I bought the full collection, the full paperback a couple months ago, and I just finally started yesterday, and I got about halfway riveting.
Nice. It's quick read
in like a 2-hour period. Yeah, there's some opening stuff that I won't spoil like events of the comic because it's very much you should read this and experience it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But the opening like here's what the new god. There's a lot I was talking to you about. There's a lot of like the character designs of those very DCAU, and it could be just that I need to go look and see, but it could just be that
some classic Kirby.
Bruce Timm took the exact Kirby designs, and that's all it is. But
it's super close, yeah.
But even the Parademons, like they've got the giant chests, teeny tiny waists, big chunky claw stuff, like directly out of Superman the Animated Series. There's a lot of really good, cool visual stuff in there, not just the Bruce Timm looking stuff, but just overall. So yeah, definitely recommend.
And it takes the Fourth World story and like pushes it further. Like this is like it feels like a few years from where we've ever seen these characters before.
Yeah.
And it's not kind of out of continuity in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, most Fourth World stories feel very status quo every time, but this is definitely like whoa, shit's going down. And there was I really like
there's a new High Father.
Miracle. Yeah, I really like that Mr. Miracle just does not give one fuck the entire time. He's just constantly like I think my scene is Metron bursting into their bedroom. Do not see the face of God. It is Metron. Look out! And then he just like bleary-eyed, like, huh? Hey, Barta, it's Metron. Yeah, Metron's here. Like, I really like envisioning that as like a movie scene. Like, yeah, I think it's
I
Metron.
just woke up. Come on.
Do not look into.
I like all the veggie trays and how they're so
Yeah,
visually
it's good.
similar to the boom tubes.
Yeah,
Next time
yeah.
you see them, yeah, they're all.
Yeah, the little like carrot dips and stuff. I've teared up a couple times reading it, just of how like emotional things get. So that I won't spoil. I'm not going to talk about stuff. I'm not going to talk about it. I can't handle it. So just join.
Talked enough
Cool
about
boy,
it.
what did you just join? You joined in on a discussion of Young Justice season 3, part 2, episodes 1 through 4 or 15
1 to 4
through something, whatever it is. This is yeah, this is our. I think that we're caught up with all that's been out so far, because I think there's only.
They come on Tuesdays, so tomorrow on Tuesday there will be a new one.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of. What was I watching yesterday? Oh, I'm not going to talk about this, but Jessica and I were watching Stranger Things season 3. That's my wife. I'm married to Stranger Things season 3.
Wow.
Yesterday, and I was talking about how I think that show and Young Justice are both suffering from the same, not really problem, but just kind of like, well, I'll say what it is. So I think that when these shows start and they have to introduce you to, like, here's the plot, and whoop, these characters just happen to be wrapped up in the plot together, like, Superboy's in the place. Don't let it eat the thing. You better not. Don't let it anywhere near that shit. Get that out of here. If you're gonna, hold it on top of your head. But so, yeah, Robin's in this place. They all come together right now over me in order to do this thing, and it's just circumstantial. Whereas seasons after that continue to be like, okay, the people want to see Superboy, they want to see Kid Flash, they want to see this, they want to see this, and now there's so many characters in Young Justice Outsiders, they have to just keep giving like equal screen time to everything that's going on, and the show kind of feels a bit like less about the world itself and more about like, oh yeah, also Wonder Girl. Remember Wonder Girl's here? Did you know that? I forgot, so maybe don't forget yourself.
She's kind of corny. I like her.
Yeah, it's not a huge problem. It's just a thing that I'm noticing. Yes,
yeah.
I think the show overall is still fantastic, and I really like all of the deep cut stuff. Like they did fucking the News Girl Legion.
Yeah.
Thing. Like they
It took me a minute to like realize that, and I was like, oh, that's.
And why was it so Scooby Doo-ish? Did they explain why it was so Scooby Doo?
Nope, they just wanted to, I guess.
So I don't know, but that was
I
cool.
thought I like having Static around, but he felt a little underpowered. Like I'm glad he had his he was riding his little disc, but he had those like little electric like smoke bomb.
When he very easily could have just shot electricity out of his hand. Yeah. I think that there was that tweet. It was like I can't remember who it was. It was like a black nerd YouTube channel or something like that. Like that's the name of the thing. But it was he was just talking about he's just filming his TV, and Beast Boy as a big bear like charges the thug dude that's really not Rampage, but the other one that's basically Rampage. Devastation. And he's like, get him, Virgil, and things like fantastic. Didn't do anything. Great job. So yeah, there's definitely that where like why is Static there? Like if he's not gonna do anything, and all he did was
hopefully he has a smoke to shine. I'm just glad he's there at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure. He needs all the screen time he can get.
I definitely like that there's different little chunks of teenage characters. Like Batman has this whole squad. There's this the team. There's the like kind of grown up team members. There's the
Tim
Misfit.
Drake's kind of got his own group going on now.
So I like all that.
Yeah,
with
a great mix
spoiler.
Orphan is there.
Did you even know Clayface was Clayface? I didn't know it was.
But where's
They
Nightwing?
got
Like he's barely been in the
I
show.
know he really has. Um, there's let's see. There's Tara doesn't say shit. She's just standing around going, "Yep, hey Slade, it's me, Tara. Things are happening." And there's also almost like I'm almost thinking that maybe they're gonna put a twist on the twist, and you think, "Yep, they're doing Tara, your classic Tara," but then it's gonna be that she's like double
She's
crossing
cool.
Slade or something.
We'll see.
We also see that what's her face, oh my gosh, what's the fake country that Brian and Tara are from? Markovia.
Markovia.
They're like teacher lady, the scientist, very. She's been like just fine. I've never questioned her goodness, and then now in this last episode, like kind of questionable whether like she's working for the bad guys or what's going on. And maybe she's sending information to bad people or so.
You mean the Din Mother who's in there now? I forget her name.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, she was the scientist, right? Yeah, I never trusted her.
And I really like that they have basically like a Titan's Tower now. That was
yeah.
And they just have like just barely changed areas like for the cartoon. Like here's where we're gonna play video games, and here's where we're gonna food and stuff.
We're gonna eat pizza.
Black nerd comedy. Yes, I think that's Markovia. Am I right? I heard Devastation and Rampage, and automatically you guys were talking about Transformers. Yeah. No, we're not talking about Transformers. So
Dr. Helga Jace, that was her name.
Plenty of stuff has happened in these newer episodes, but because I watched them all pretty back to back, like I'm having trouble remembering like exact this episode was about this. There's a like an Australian girl with wind powers. Is that anyone that you're aware of, or is that a new character? They usually grab like obscure characters, but I don't know this one.
Let me think. I'm trying to remember her name. There was a woman in Jeff Johns' JSA series who could do tornado powers. What was her name?
I don't know.
I know.
I guess apparently it's Black Film Nerd, not Black Nerd Comedy. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, this doesn't. Yeah. We're past it. How long until Starfire and Raven show up? Yeah, I definitely think
probably soon.
They're the only like missing keys to all this. We should probably let's address Nilfinity Gaming's question. Do you have any plans for any Young Justice? Also, do you think there will be a Batman Beyond announcement at Work? Thank you. Young Justice content, we've talked about it before.
Cyclone was her name from
All
JSA.
Right, I forgot.
Oh no! Somebody's mowing the lawn outside my window.
You got to close the window.
It is.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry in advance.
Noise.
I hope so.
I can't hear it on here, but I'll hear it on the audio. Anyway, we've talked about doing Young Justice content, but there's a lot of like channels and social media, and there's a Young Justice wiki and stuff like that they do very in-depth Young Justice like reviews and theories and stuff like that we do for DCAU, and I think that genre, I guess, or whatever, that niche is already kind of being taken care of. So anything that we would do would be like, well, we didn't do as much research as the other person, but let's put out a video for the sake of clicks. So I don't know if when I said clicks, my soul hurt a little bit. I don't know if we'll bring out any like direct like Young Justice kind of like as it's coming out, like reviews or anything, but I can definitely see us doing stuff like when the season's over and there's a million questions and theories and stuff like that, doing those kind of things.
That'd be fun.
And then Batman Beyond announcement. There's rumor that it's going to be Batman Beyond on Blu-ray, but I don't know if that's true or if that's just what everyone's guess is. I think it's because there was like an Amazon listing for it or something popped up.
Well, it makes sense. It's 20th anniversary right now, and they're celebrating that at SDCC.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I think
time
everyone
to announce another DTV.
Yeah, I was going to say some people are hoping that it's a Batman Beyond, movie. I don't know if that's the case. When we talked to, there were those little, like, leaked supposed production images of animated Batman Beyond stuff a few months ago that immediately down as fake or whatever, but that could be a cover up for
Fake news.
something. So I guess we'll find out in like days what's actually happened. Yeah. BM Gray, is Tara and Slade doing the thing they did in the comics in this version? What does that mean? Doing the thing they did in the comics in this version. I guess this is a Judas contract, I guess is kind of what the question is. It seems to be that way, but yeah. But I don't know for sure. And then
have we seen Tara and Dustford? I don't think you can hear me anymore.
No, I can.
Oh, you can?
What about there was okay. There was Tara and Slater like texting each other, but that's like the maximum, I think. I hope that Ted's not suddenly just behind lagging, because we don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh no, you're not. You're fine. Okay.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
So what else can we say about these episodes? What else happened?
What
was the first episode back about? I'm trying to remember. I should probably just look at the DC Universe app, and it will tell me, because we're not
that's where I'm going
them,
here.
But Young Justice.
I'm taking a break from IMDb today. Amazon boycott.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because that's what the Amazon workers are doing.
So the first episode back, I'm not trying to deflate what you're saying, but I don't know about, so I'm sure it's important.
Any goodness.
It was this one I thought was pretty cool, showing Granny Goodness and whatever. It's a little bit weird that it seems like Barda is going resistance. Yeah, it seems like Barda is going to go to the good side because because Superman saved her, and not for any Mr. Miracle reasons, which is kind of interesting. But
not yet.
I mean, but I mean, I guess they have their own ways here on the Young Justice. Leverage was about them investigating rumors of
the Rocket
trafficking
Reds
in Russia. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like their snow outfits, and
I liked how the Rocket Reds like bonded themselves, like grafted
themselves
that was cool. To the suit. That was a really
different thing than usual, yeah. And that's immediately pretty sure in the comics it was just one guy, and then it became Brigade, or am I wrong?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was always the Brigade.
Okay.
But they were introduced in like the Justice League International books, and the first one ended up being Manhunter. Like, no man escapes the Manhunters, like a robot in disguise as a person.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was cool seeing them fight the Suicide Squad, like Black Manta, Captain Boomerang, and it was Mala, right? Wasn't Monster Mala?
Yeah. That was an interesting Suicide Squad that they had, not your typical Suicide Squad membership.
Not your dad's Suicide Squad.
This got Jared Leto Joker.
Oh.
I definitely. Oh my God, Cat! Would you knock it off? That's not for you to play with. He's gonna do it again.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
I'm definitely looking forward to how all of these 20 different plots from the show come together right now into a big old climactic thing, because I think they keep going, they're opening Earth Apocalypse, but there's a lot of all the Apocalypse stuff so far mostly has just been like this kind of behind the scenes weird stuff, like grannies taking control of people's brains and but eventually it'll theoretically be Superman gets to punch Darkseid in the face or whatever, so that'll be something.
Well, it'll probably be Superboy.
Yeah, and we've only seen Darkseid himself, I think, twice or something, so it'll be it'll be something. And what else happens in this. I think we've probably said enough. It's good. There are how many more episodes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more episodes until the show is canceled forever
we
again.
talk about the reach.
Oh yeah, that was
And
kind
all
of
these,
interesting. Yeah, there was like a reach ship, the ocean that was from like it was like a leftover from season 2, that comes back online. And at first I thought like, oh shit, like that's gonna be like this big deal, but all it ended up being was just a way for Beast Boy and his crew to kind of look, world, we
yeah.
are the people, which is fine. Like that's what the whole point is that they can do what the Justice League can't. Or um, I don't know what I think about Aqualad being called Aquaman now. Like if for whatever reason it's weird. And have they addressed what happened to actual? Like, why is he not? Does he just have
Yeah.
to do kingly stuff?
He left the Justice League. Yeah. Yeah. He's just doing kingly stuff.
Gangly stuff. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, I look forward to the next
Cool.
chunk of episodes, and yeah, that's it. Let's move on to everyone's
They could
trash.
take it anywhere. I really like the. Okay, I won't say what I like.
Well, no, you can do it. Do it. You can do it.
Era of DC that they're pulling from right now. This is
Yeah.
like the mid to late '80s, like the Justice League.
That is quite the lawnmower, sir.
I told
can
you.
definitely. I couldn't hear it before, but now I can. All right. No, yeah, you've talked about that before. That it's like just barely past where we've seen before. So that's kind of cool. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got some questions. I saved a couple from the Discord, and then we'll move to the ones from here in the live chat. This is from
Okay.
Nue. I loved Maddie's Scarecrow video. That's the most recent Vanishing Point. Got me thinking, though, what's your favorite cut content from the DCAU that never saw the light of day? Is it stuff like the episode What Would Have Been from the Perspective of the Gun That Killed the Waynes? An alternate scenario where Tim escapes the Joker and never became a small Joker? I think my favorite cut stuff is actually from that Batman Adventures Volume 2 comic with Warren Powers extracting the head and stuff. I really like that. And luckily,
cool.
you kind of can in our comic. Legacies.
Hey,
But
maybe the potential next season of JLU where they would have been traveling through time,
yeah, that
going on adventures like that, or it would have all been set in the Beyond world.
Yeah,
would have
for
been
sure.
The Justice League
Unlimited
no,
all that would have been
season
really cool to see
with like Warhawk and
yeah. OGIHR, or maybe it's pronounced Ogre. Well, I already submitted this in another channel. I shall repeat. Has the team done any exploration of the costume freak population rising exponentially in the first 2 years of any hero, and exponentially again in JLU, but then being so far reduced when Terry first found the cave? Meaning, what brought about the social landscape change in between Destroyer and Rebirth? I have to assume it has something to do with the near apocalypse vote. But more, I'm sure mostly it's a storytelling device on the part of Paul Dini and co. Just kind of, a new superhero breeds new supervillains. So, and if there's, I don't know. I don't know if there's really much of another reason, but in universe, it could be that a lot of people died in the near apocalypse or something, or got shot out of existence or something like that.
You never know. I'm looking at the ones Maddie have sent. DT Films asked if what superhero should John Krasinski play? Jordan in the DCEU or Reed Richards in the MCU?
I like
Reed Richards just
yeah,
because he's also married to Emily Blunt. She'd be perfect for Invisible Woman.
Yeah,
they're married in there, so it's two birds stoned, right?
Yeah, I mean Hal Jordan.
I don't trust you.
Hal Jordan doesn't seem like. I feel like he seems like a character that shouldn't necessarily be played by a super famous person. I kind of like the whole Man of Steel Superman is like, Henry Cavill wasn't really that well known when he was cast, and versus like Ben Affleck is like a household name. Oh my god, cat! Get that cat out of here.
I know that cat's going crazy on me.
Lego
I
Pete.
liked Chris Pine. Chris Pine was my choice for a while for Hal Jordan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he
But
makes
he's
sense
Steve
with
Trevor.
Star Trek and whatever. Yeah, that's true. We could also do Tom Cruise was kind of on the docket for a little bit. I know he's super famous, but he is in Top Gun, so you know. Lego Pete, have you watched
He's
Justice
never
League
played a
Action?
superhero.
True, I think. I have watched the
We
first
have.
5 episodes now of Justice League Action. It's pretty cool. It's definitely a more kid-oriented show, but I'm enjoying it. And
I liked
I don't
it
know. I
too.
don't have a lot to
I've
say about it, but
watched a bunch of random episodes. I
yeah,
like
I
how they
like
brought in
the
Constantine and Swamp
yeah,
Thing.
right on. Like very, very quickly, they just throw non-household superheroes at you. Swamp Thing and
Mm-hmm.
Shazam in the first one and stuff. Juan Pedro, what do you expect from Comic-Con this year? I expect that I won't be going to Comic-Con. Ha 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 ha. I mean, yeah, hopefully the Beyond Blu-ray announcement. I'd like to see what Marvel has in store for the next phase, which
Just
I assume
see
will
some
be
more DC
announced. Yeah,
animated movies.
it'd be good.
Always.
And let's see. Noting in the live chat here, could there be a Will It Canon for Justice League Action? Yeah, sure, maybe. A bunch of people, whenever there is our request for Will It Canon episodes, half the time it's on stuff that is like pretty widely known or not really argued to be part of the DCAU. That's the stuff that we like to focus on for it. So like Green Lantern, the animated series,
Yeah.
people ask about, or like various movies and stuff like that. But I don't know, when it's kind of it's not impossible, I guess, because I remember Eric Carrasco was telling us how the writers on that show would kind of like collectively think about the DCAU continuity when they were writing stuff, just in case it could fit in. But it wasn't like in the Bible or whatever to make it that way. And
Obviously.
Shane Glines designed all the character models and everything, and he's a big DCAU character designer. So it's not. I'm sure it's not impossible to, or it's not like against our. Like we can do a video on it, but I don't know. We'll find out. I'm sure there's more ahead of that on the list that would make more sense first. Epic
Mm-hmm.
Wolf Network, would you do a comparison with Young Justice DCAU characters? This comment was originally sent by Eternal Blockbuster. We did a Trivia Tuesdays sort of on that, on Young Justice characters that have been in the DCAU, Wally West and all that. Yeah.
All the characters they've introduced there that touched them in some way. So go look that one up. It was pretty good.
Yeah. I'll do one more and then we'll wrap up this segment. Lego Pete again. Would you do a Will Teen Titans and the Batman and Legion of Superheroes, but none of them being DCAU? So again, yeah, Teen Titans and the Batman. Okay, I see I guess the question being like if we would do Will it canon on stuff that's not DCAU. So like, will this canon to this other thing or something? That's possible. That could be a thing that we would do eventually. Just because. Yeah, there's stuff like James Tucker yesterday tweeted about the Legion of Superheroes and Brave and the Bold. He kind of vaguely called them this thing, but anyway, that could be for the future.
They're just there's already a Superman and Brave and the Bold that doesn't look like the Superman in Legion. So they
right.
But when did appearance ever stop anything?
Yeah, Batman and Harley Quinn can't be friends, so it's not canon. I think that's the episode. So sorry if it kind of dwindled down at the end there a little bit, but we'll see you guys in the next one. This is out every other Monday. You can follow us at DCAU Watchtower. That's right down there on social media. You can also support us on patreon.com/watchtower database, or sorry, /DCAU Watchtower. What am I doing? Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss all the upcoming stuff. We've got some good things coming up. Our vote
what?
I was just gonna say our vote just concluded on Patreon for the new video. So this coming Sunday video will be the Susan Eisenberg casting call, coupled with a Susan Eisenberg interview. So look forward to that. And I want to thank Adam Mullen, his music throughout the channel. You can, if you want some music written by the same guy that writes our music, then you can go to musica-atomica.com. That's where you can contact him. iTunes, watchtower.com. This podcast is, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Merch at teespring.com/stores/DCAU Watchtower. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And thank you very much to all of our patrons that may be tuning in, and to Nilfinity Gaming again for that sweet question of yours. Yeah. We'll see you on the, I guess, as the kids say.
From now.
One more thing, I guess, is we're going to be trying to do this live for the foreseeable future. But the day that this happens on time, either the time of day or both may change depending on when we can have all three of us on here at the. So we'll let you know what that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks.
It's a little glitchy right now, so we gotta figure out a way to get Maddie in effectively.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. All right. Bye, everybody.
Unofficial intellect until episode 50.
Yes. Exactly.
Bye.
Goodbye.